first ban is coming out. Krug Killaz on the blue side, USU white on the red. And, that's just a little bit weird to me. I'm from Utah, so I know that Utah State is a blue school. And so this is freaking me out.
It is a little weird, especially because, I used to play for the University of Utah, and we were red, and USU was. I scrimmed against them a couple times, and we literally we won the coin flip, and we chose red because we're like, guys, we got to match the colors, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. We literally, when we play at LAN too, that was it. So I agree with you there. Of these, say the colors mismatch is a little silly.
All right, Caitlin, and so the Corki surprises me because it's not a typical ban that we see, but when we're in the PLC, we do a lot of target bans, so I appreciate it, but it does surprise me.
I will say Corki recently has been really, really strong. I believe he did recently get nerfed again, but a couple patches ago they buffed his true damage on his passive, and he started to take over as an AD carry. I literally stopped playing the game because I was so tired of facing Corki AD carry. He's a really strong scaler. You go Conqueror or Hail of Blades and you just win every single 2v2. Just a really big lane bully that you can't really punish very easily. So seeing that also with Caitlyn, these kind of AD carries that if they get a lot of resources or start to develop a lead, can really just take over the map in a way that champions like Samira or Draven don't really do. They take over structures, they take over objectives, rather than Draven and Samira just get kills and kill.
All right, we have the first lock-in here, the Warwick. Now, T-Van, I don't know if you... there are 3 Warwick mains on the Krug Killaz team. 3 of them. And Warwick just got this huge buff that we talked about on the PCP.
Yeah. I forgot that patch happened. He actually looks really good. There's... reading through that, I was like, whoa. That's... The auto rate, there's a lot of quality of life changes that I really appreciate Riot doing. So I'm very curious to see how Warwick is going to look. Because I also feel like before that rework, Warwick is actually in a decent spot. He was kind of in that weird spot where if you played him top, he actually has a couple decent angles. I don't think he's a great jungler, at least at that point. But speaking of decent spots as a pocket pick.
Yeah.
We didn't even look at the fact that Silas and Syndra are on the same team too.
Jungle Silas, man.
Is it actually Jungle Silas? Because I was going to say
so.
Silas support is my guess, or Syndra AD carry. Those were the only 2 things that I could think of. Because I haven't seen Silas support or Silas jungle since God, what was that? 2021.
It's been a while. Oof. Absolutely, it's been a while, and there's the Melio too. And so there goes the support idea, but. This is why I love new teams. It's so much fun to see these picks come in. And, okay, T-Van, I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest, I am an AD Silas fan. Now, the reason for it is... Hold on.
Okay, I'm here.
His abilities all scale off of ability power, but his passive has a 150% AD ratio. So if you cast your spells and you flicker blade, you can just deal this absurd amount of auto damage every time you rotate your spells, and it's a lot of fun. So if we can see him top lane.
I thought you were going to talk about the fact that his W also scales off of bonus HP, and you're going to talk about I go Sterix Gauge and these big bonus HP. Okay. I mean, I can see the vision. That's something I would do in ARAM if I was 6 beers deep, to be honest. So thank you for that idea for tonight.
That's what I do sober. So you got some homework.
And I play AP Braum sober. So
all right. We've got our weird picks. I like the Malzahar takeaway. This is something that Shazbot has been playing quite a lot. Wait, that's not a big giveaway because they've been posting their OPGGs all night. Right. But I do like the thought there from USU. They're taking that away and they don't want to see it. Draven also taken away along with the Jhin, but that does leave the Xayah available.
Okay, I wanted to talk about what AD carries USU are probably going to look at with the Melio being locked in on 3, because that's kind of the objective. Okay, we got the support on 3. We're probably going to be trying to get us AD carry on 4. I was thinking that they're going to pick something like I mean, Aphelios, not really, but like a Jinx. I thought Jinx was going to be really good here because it matches the scaling of Kog'Maw and plays with Melio really well. And the fact that Kog'Maw Lulu doesn't really have a lot of kill pressure allows Jinx to start getting that scaling. Xayah is not the champion I was thinking.
I was thinking Kai'Sa.
Kai'Sa is decent too, a little hard into Melio and also really hard into Kog'Maw Lulu because they can punish that low range. This is the worry that I had with when Xayah got slammed on 1-2 in the last game, is Xayah just gets outranged by things like Kog'Maw, by Ashe. You just can't really interact with them. When Kog'Maw is hitting you, Xayah has to move forward, and even then, those feathers aren't getting behind the AD carry in a very good spot compared to if you're facing something like a Kai'Sa, which we see a decent amount. So for me, this AD carry pick is a little bit of a question mark. Xayah, I think she'll have a good time hitting Warwick and Naafiri and Tahm Kench. But when it comes to this Kog'Maw, I just don't think anyone on USU can really deal with him unless a Scatter the Weak is able to be found and then that Unleashed Power is able to one-shot. But then again, there's Lulu to be able to support that burst. And so if you're not able to lock down and punch immediately on that stun, that Kog'Maw is going to just tear you apart.
I'm looking at USU, and I think that the Orianna would have been a little bit more cool. So you can see the Sylas going in with the Shen ult and the ball, and you can get this just nutty ultimate combo going in there. But I do like Syndra. Pardon me. I think that she's a great pick. She's a very strong champion. We've seen her effectiveness in the Hands of Death on Team Unknown. And I think she does okay into Naafiri, right? Naafiri needs to get close to deal the damage, so you just hold your Scatter the Weak and you just knock her back and walk away.
Yeah, I would also expect Syndra to be quite good into Naafiri. I feel like the only way that Naafiri can get onto Syndra is with Naafiri W. And then, you just Scatter the Weak, push you away, and you get to poke Naafiri quite well. I feel like the times where Naafiri is really strong are into champions that... how do I describe it? Where Naafiri's dogs can kind of block a lot of the interactivity.
Yes.
And this isn't a mid lane matchup, but something that comes to mind is like playing Ezreal into Naafiri feels pretty unplayable because all of the Qs are being hit on these dogs. And so there's some mid laners that kind of have that same thing. Syndra doesn't really care though. She can kind of poke you through those things. She can just, okay, cool, I'm going to hit you with my ball, and also I'm going to hit your other dogs with the ball so that, like, I'm getting triple the damage and triple the efficiency with that damage.
So now I want to shift our attention to the top lane. We saw the Tahm Kench, very, very strong. He just sits there and scales and scales and gets all of the hit points. But Shen has a unique interaction with his W where he stops the ability to stack the Unacquired Taste. And so I'm wondering how that matchup is going to go, and if Tahm Kench is going to be able to run away with it as much as he did in the last game against the Aatrox. Yeah.
I've been trying to simulate this top lane matchup in my brain because I'm so sorry. I know I'm supposed to be the expert analysis on the cast. Unfortunately, I'm not up to date with my Shen versus Tahm Kench top lane matchup. I'm so sorry, chat. But I'm trying to simulate it, and I haven't seen either of these champions be played top lane in so long. I'm they both kind of trade in similar ways, where they have both a 3-hit passive and then kind of walk away. I just don't know who does more damage on this patch. And that's the thing is, I don't know the base strength because they have similar things. I feel like both... I don't know if we're really going to see a lot of fighting top lane.
No.
I feel like, in my eyes, the fighting should be towards bot lane and should be towards mid lane. Because Tahm Kench... Honestly, if Tahm Kench gets really fed, he's going to be unkillable. Xayah's not going to be able to shred Tahm Kench. Xayah shouldn't really be able to get LDR until, 3rd, maybe 4th item. So decently late. Syndra cannot shred tanks for the love of her life, and Sylas is Sylas, right? So if he can start getting that Randuin's Omen, Sunfire, able to play side lane and pressure Shen off of waves and say, hey Shen, either you can TP and recover your team fight bot side and I take your tier 2, or you're stuck here and we're going to win the 4v4. That's going to probably be where my question mark is that side laning pressure. I feel like it's going to be very even. They're both going to kind of whittle away at the wave. Neither of them have like a lot of wave clear until they get Bomby Cinder. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that much top. But I could be wrong. You know, Spectral could just like want to run down Shen if he really wants to. You know, the world is his oyster if he really wants to.
And here we go. The 5-man invade from the other side. USU coming 5 men strong into the Tribrush. Thor's Dragon waddling his caterpillar legs away. And everybody, we are game number 4, our final Swiss match of the night of our honorary anniversary stream here on the PLC in November. This invade is going for a long time.
Yeah, they really want something, and I don't know what it is. I'm a little dizzy right now. Something, speaking of dizzy, that I do want to bring up is the fact that Kog'Maw is starting this lane off with 2 daggers instead of something like a Doran's Blade or even a Cole. You know, Kog'Maw does actually benefit a lot with attack speed. That's why a lot of people just build attack speed items and not really anything damage, because a lot of his damage is coming from his W. And so just trying to maximize that output. It's kind of similar to on-hit Varus, where you just need, you know, to be able to spam your passive damage, and then you can start actually going into some tank items as well. So this Nefiri poke is brutal. Oh my god, that's 2 rotations of Q.
Yeah, that's what happens when you play against something you don't know what it does.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't know what to do against Nefiri either. Just dodge the Qs, I guess. Like, that's kind of what you're learning right now. Like, luckily he has biscuits. It is Doran's Ring with 2 pots. Like, I don't know if Truce is ever in any kill threat unless, you know, maybe 1 or 2 more rotations of Q lands and just playing the game of, I don't know, Syndra has more pots, but it is a pretty decent trade topside, actually.
It's going to be grasp stack trading for a while, and I do think that the crowd control from Shen is easier to land, so there might be the advantage there. My gosh, Truce really does take quite a lot of damage there.
Yeah, it's just not dodging the daggers, which, you know, I feel like is that was a great feather pull, but that's kind of the only interactivity you have against Nefiri, and that's what Riot kind of designed Nefiri to be, is that assassin that you don't really have to, like, I don't know, when you watch like Zed and Talon, there's a lot of creativity, there's a lot of flexibility with the way that the kit works, but Nefiri is very 2-dimensional purposely. And so, like, for Truce right now, it's like, okay, there's this very 2-dimensional mid laner. All I need to do is just dodge these Qs. That's literally the only thing I need to be doing. And so far, we are not seeing that happen.
Yeah, so all potions are gone, all cookies are gone from Truce in the mid lane, and I think this is a great opportunity to direct our attention to the Sylas as Frenzy goes in against Chimebard Torture. Thor's Drag, disconnect. That's not good. I think he's back. He's walking back toward the lane, but the invade up on the top side, Spectral burns the Ghost to get Forest PNW's flash. And Truce. Truce doesn't have his flash anymore.
Yeah, Truce tried to defend as well, but that's going to be losing. Oh, it does look like Forrest was able to collect his Raptors and red before Spectral got there. But like you said, burning the flash for it, a bit brutal. But Sylas got his full clear. He got his full clear off without getting punished, which is the big question mark for Sylas players in jungle is, can you get that early clear happen? Because Sylas clear is not healthy whatsoever.
Here comes the fight. Ignite is in, but just like we talked about, Scatter the Weak says no thank you. 70 hit points left on the Syndra.
And Sylas might be able to punish this play. Has no flash still, but no mana from Shazbot.
Shazbot does have the flash. He dodges it out, and Forrest in the right place at the right time, securing a great summoner spell take.
Yeah, it's a great punish, and getting the flash out is going to make Truce off of this TP feel a lot more comfortable. The base is a little bit awkward for Truce, but honestly, and it sounds very weird, but the fact that he has TP versus the Ignite of Shazbot, he's actually going to be in an advantageous situation for this play. He's going to have a lot more minions, and so he's going to have a little bit of an XP lead and a little bit of a gold lead going off of this base.
Double junglers on the bottom side. The pressure from USU is not enough to dissuade them from being ready. Frenzy stunned there with the tongue lash, and now this is the Tom Kench power. He's got the grasp, flash is burned.
Oh my god!
Tongue lash into the flash, but he got the Q for the shield, and Frenzy stays alive.
He canceled that last auto that could have been the death sentence for Frenzy, but at the end of the day, it's a big wave crash, flashes burned either side, and Frenzy still has TP to recover his lead.
Shazbot and Spectral are here. Spectral doesn't have flash, so he can't get in, but Little Gil is the target. Rabid comes in. The Drake is secured by USU. Forest PNW is really low, gets the heal from Gooey Jelly. Shazbot's on the back, flash forward, and first blood for Thor's Dragon as he takes down the Silas. Spectral goes in onto Gooey Jelly. No mana for either of these members of USU, but there is enough to get the kill onto Spectral.
Yeah, the presence of mind from Little Gil is absolutely vital for that fight to happen. That feather pull able to execute Spectral, who potentially, if he would be able to stick on to those members, would just keep healing and healing and healing. And I don't think Xayah would have enough damage to be able to break through that healing threshold. But it's another trade towards top.
Frenzy might be in some trouble, but he lands the taunt and gets out alive. Chime gonna come back here and farm up all of these tasty little minions.
Yeah, the Balmy Cinder now activated, so he's going to have a lot more freedom for these waves, and is able to do a lot more, especially, you know, having that kill under his belt as well. Frenzy forced to burn TP at this point if he wants to. He actually is choosing not to.
Here comes the engage. Forest is ready to jump onto Thor's Dragon. Rabid gets the slow with the Glitter Lance. He can go over the wall. Abscond, Abduct, and Kingslayer all into the chain slash for Hi, I'm Rabid. Forest picks up the kill, but Thor stays alive.
An interesting choice to give Forest that kill as well. I would have wanted Xayah to have that kill immediately, start getting those items online. Silas is a little bit far behind, but
Neferi goes in, ignite down onto Truce, but the Shen ultimate says we stand united and do not allow our friends to die that easily. Shazbot makes it out, as does Truce. Teleport now immediately coming out of Frenzy to save the wave.
Yeah, I guess that's why he's been saving TP this whole time. Instead of using it in his lane to get advantages, it's to be able to save one of his teammates and be able to TP back, because he knows that this Tahm Kench can bully a tower. Demolish is, you know, Demolish, as many people might know, scales off of bonus HP as well, and so already the bombies being done for Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench also just has a very high HP scaling, and so those Demolish procs are a guaranteed plate. You give him one or about 3 or 4 waves of freedom in the top side, especially with these 3 grubs now online, your top tier 1 is done. And then that's going to give him first rotation to any play that he wants if he wants to push in waves. And that's going to force Frenzy to use Stand United and lose a lot of XP and start to bleed out.
A great showing here from the Krug Killaz on the top side. The Tahm Kench is unbenched, right? Let's be real here. He's a terror. He's up 15 CS. That's 3 whole waves, and that's crazy.
Yeah, the Toad has been unloaded. It's and the double longsword on Shen to me is just like terrifying. I feel like, and this is kind of the scary thing with TK is like,
Forrest
how do you
comes in? The gray health is there. He gets a pretty decent heal. Oh wow, that was close. Oh my gosh. Normally I can hold my composure there, but he was like 10 health when that happened. But our gank is here on the bottom side. Spectral is in. Doesn't get the fear. Instead lands the ultimate. A nice cleanse there from Gooey Jelly. Spectral dodges the feather pull with the Q. Little Gel is getting slowed. Pops the barrier. Is still alive. Doesn't take any more damage. And Melio is so strong.
Yeah, the peel from Gooey Jelly was absolutely vital there, but Little Gil could have played that a little bit more aggressive. They have a lot of defensive tools, and that kind of play, a champion like Warwick is exactly how Xayah wants to play. That's her playground. Come into me, let me play off of feathers. Let me use my ult in an aggressive or defensive way.
Shazbot wants to go in. Truce has no tools here, and he is low. He throws out the unleashed power and flashes away with 150.
Both flashes used in that play. Shazbot, I think, was a little afraid of the threshold that Syndra ult might have had there.
Yeah.
And feeling that pressure, you can kind of feel the nerves of both sides. Just little plays like that, and the play that Little Gil had, you can see that no one wants to lose.
In some trouble. Forest. Oh, he abducted a minion. That just saved Shazbot's life.
I don't know, that minion was like behind him too. That looked like the Nautilus hook from last game. Like, that is unlucky. And it is going to force Truce to TP back, and which is all right. Unleash TP has lost Chapter now, but I feel like Shazbot now is actually locked into this lane half HP. Truce can start to really push an advantage and potentially get a solo kill and start to claw back into the game. But it's kind of that 50-50 play of trading aggressively and risking yourself of being a prey to this Naafiri.
I appreciate the Tiamat from Frenzy going for the Titanic Hydra. I think that is a really strong item on Shen. You do auto-attack quite a lot with that champion. Chimbar Torture is going to grab him with the Devour, pull him back a little bit. He's trying to stack up the passive. Does he? Okay, he's taunted. Whoa, Spectral gets a kill in the mid lane. Frenzy is doing quite a lot of damage. He gets stunned here. One more auto for the Acquired Taste, but he gets the Q and the bonus damage from it. Flash from Frenzy means he stays alive. I think back to us talking about how we weren't going to see a lot of fighting up top, and it's probably the craziest fighting we've seen. Thoros Dragon is in a lot of trouble. He does have the flash. He flashes immediately, and he stays well healthy and alive.
Yeah, I mean, Xayah has Collector. She's going to one-shot you if any piece of CC lands onto you. If she gets 1 or 2 seconds of uptime, even if you have a Lulu with heal and, the E-shield and the ult, up we go is not going to matter. Yeah, it's just a battlefield. It's Armageddon now in bot lane. I just feel like this Kog'Maw hasn't gotten the resources that he needs to start to clutch into this map, and so he's going to feel pretty poverty and welfare for a while, and he's going to get solo bullet bot as they try to contest Dragon.
Spectral is here with Shazbot. Shazbot goes into the ult, but they need to be careful of the stand united. Oof. That is now a 5v2. Shazbot gets caught. Spectral is caught. Drake is even secured by USU, and that was a massive swing for them.
It's a huge swing and just a weird misplay there from Krug Killaz. Your AD carry has already died. You don't have a top lane to match the TP of a Shen ult. And also, you just don't have the prio or the item spikes that USUW have right now. You don't have a collector on your AD carry. You don't have these advantages. And you don't have the setup. You don't have vision or wards. So fighting that just feels really... just really odd. Honestly, it's always going to be a losing fight, and even if you win it, how much are you really going to gain from that? Instead, just take the waves, take the plates that you might be able to gain from that, and just start to recover. Play off of your own win con and not theirs.
Naafiri is on the bottom side while we go to the fighting we didn't think we would see up on the top side again. And this is just, it's so silly to watch these tanks slap each other for extra health from each other. I think that's a lot of fun. Truce is up here on the top side. Misses Scatter of the Weak. Chimbar Torture is just walking away. And Forest is too late to help set that one up.
Well, and he's got a whole full clear that he needs to be doing right now. All of his jungle camps are up. Let my jungler please just let him have his gold. Let him reset. Let him have his first item that he's so desperately needing. I mean, just look at the components. He has every single part of his first item. And he's just like, please, guys, I just need a full clear, reset my camps, get my XP, let me get my item. Can we stop fighting for 5 seconds, please, for the love of God?
Well, he doesn't know PLC. He's new.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. No, you're right. And that's something that I think I would struggle with. If I played in PLC, I would get mad at my team every single time.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. We understand. 14 minutes in, Rift Herald has spawned. Plates are down. It's a 3,000-ish gold lead here for USUW, and it's entertaining, to say the least. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys play. Truce has not been as lucky with the Scatter the Weak casts as I think he wants to. He's missed quite a few on Shazbot in particular, and he's unleashed power a couple times. He's ahead in the farm department, and he's got 2 kills, so he does have that finished Luden's companion. But I think that the pressure and the impact he wants is still a little bit lacking.
Yeah, it felt like the first couple waves really set him back, and that's a big thing of not knowing your matchup. Is if you start to lose, you don't find a way to claw yourself back out. You don't realize, like, maybe in this matchup, I just need to be playing more aggressive. Maybe that's the problem. Speaking of aggression, though, top lane is once again fighting.
Chime does get Frenzy with the Devour. They're trading health bars once again. No stun amidst the minions, But Abyssal Voyage comes up. Does he land it? Okay, he does, but it only ticks the third because he had walked away instead. But look at our CS advantage again. It's still 30. Spectral, in some trouble, gets hit by Truce. Oh, he counteracted all of the damage from the ultimate with his own. Truce is really low. Flash is burned. Shazbot has a free kill here. Flash, W, Q, and there it is. Frenzy, meanwhile, on the top side, does pick up the kill against Shinebar Torture. An assist from Forest on that one.
That kill on Truce was actually a shutdown too. Thank you, Riot Games, for the new shutdown bounty system. Shazbot gets an extra 200 gold for that kill. But I feel like the silent killer this all along has been bot lane.
Turret down. Rabid uses his ultimate and his flash, is able to get far enough away, but Little Gale throws out the Feather Storm and picks it up. Oh, Frenzy on a killing spree up on the top side. Teleport is coming in onto Shazbot in the mid lane. That's Syndra. Truce is going after him. It's a 3v1 here, and that's the scatter of the week that had to land. He gets it, and Forest picks up the kill.
And they're probably going to convert that into this mid tower as well. Dragon is spawning, I believe, in probably what is 30 seconds. And with this kill on Kog'Maw, potentially, it's just going to be an absolutely free Dragon.
I don't know about the Dragon, but it is definitely the free Rift Herald.
Oh, I didn't even see that was up too. I get so, like, dizzy sometimes when I don't have timers. I need timers. Like, timers are so big for me, you know what I mean? Speaking of that trading of getting little bits of HP though, the Heartsteel now being done for Shen, so
yeah,
they want to fight some more, and they're just gonna get more HP from it.
There we go. Frenzy does dodge out the Tongue Lash. An acquired taste is picked up, and he is eaten with the Devour and spit right back out into the Tongue Lash, into the Grasp. He is just whipping that tongue around all over the place. But Frenzy's W is doing huge amounts of work here. And Shinebar Torture throws the W for the extra health. Frenzy gets his Q. Oh, it was close and scary. Shazbot in some trouble, gets rooted immediately by Little Gil. Oh, but Little Gil gets caught, chases just a little bit too far. Spectral wants to go in onto Gooey Jelly, and that actually might secure the Drake for KK instead.
But I don't think that the Drake is something that USUW wanted. They're using so many resources for this top side, and they're putting the Rift Herald there, breaking that first tower. Truce was rotating up to top as well to try to kill Shinebar Torture. Somehow he was able to escape, I believe, with an Abyssal Voyage. Might be picked off again here with that Rift Herald push.
Yep. There it is. The scatter of the week from Truce lands true, and they do pick up the kill. Herald will go down here after the crash, but Forest is going to stay and try and take that tier 2 turret. That's a lot of gold if they are able to take it, and they do.
Oh my god. And that's like you said, a lot of gold, especially for the Silas, who, if he can start getting ahead, can honestly run this game, can start one-shotting people like this Warwick, like this Nefiri, and even having access to things like Kog'Maw Lulu. I will say, though, I would rather have the gold on people like Syndra, like Xayah, who are going to have an easier time in these team fights. Silas can still be kind of outplayed by in these fights. You know, Warwick can CC him very easily. Tom Kench can kind of push him back very well. Polymorph is an absolute massive CC tool that will probably be going on Silas every single time, as he's the only one that's going to be in Lulu's range. So as much as Silas is getting strong, I feel like he's not the one that these resources should be going to. But Xayah probably having IE on this next reset, the next fight that they'll be seeing, unless they randomly fight over this tier 2 here. That's the scary thing that I'm looking for.
Abyssal Voyage lands the knock up onto Little Gil. Thor's Dragon is here with a lot of attack speed, but Stand United has come out. Little Gil is still alive, gets the root onto Shinebar Torture. Shazbot goes on to Gooey Jelly, almost killing him instantly. Truce comes in on the backside. Somehow no one has died yet. Shazbot is really low. Unleashed Power will deal a decent amount of damage, but he is still alive. Ultimate down onto Forest PNW. Taunt, Spectral. Little Gil gets the kill onto Thor's Dragon. Actually, it's a double because there were 2 sets of feathers. Forest picks up the kill onto the Fury up on the top side, and that is a 3-for-0 trade in favor of USUW. They have the minion wave. Do they continue the fight? Little Gil is in the front line. No stun from Truce. They get the slow. Frenzy dodges forward, gets the taunt. The turret is down. He makes it out. Flash forward. Frenzy is still up there. I'm Rabid running away, gets slowed from the throwing ball. Little Gil, Truce up here next to the turret. They've got some grubs to deal some damage, but they do make it out.
At the end of the day, bunch of kills for USUW and a tier 2 tower. A lot of gold and a tier 2 in the mid lane as well. A lot of objectives going to the side of USUW. They're breaking open the map, and now the objective going out of base here is Baron. They can easily start setting up because there is not a single tower outside of the inhibitor that is up for Krug Killaz. And Krug Killaz have not gotten a single tower yet. So a lot of space that they can start taking up, especially with this Hex Tech map, with these portals and these Hex Gates. They can just start really taking over the map, suffocating them in vision, and just play for a Baron, because how does Krug Killaz really contest a Baron play like USUW? They can kind of blind check with a Tom Kench, but then you're going into Emilio, you're going into Zaya, you're going to Syndra. That's exactly what they want. And so USUW.
Speaking of, Rabid gets caught with the Feather Call. Polymorph is going to keep him alive for a little bit. Summoner Heal even used, but it is not enough, and that's another kill for Little Gil.
It's just disrespect at this point of what the items in the wallets of USUW. Krug Killaz need to find a play and fast, and honestly, I think it has to be around this Tom Kench.
Frenzy and Forest jump together. That taunt keeping Chimebar Torture in, and Frenzy goes on a rampage. 4-0 on the Shen.
Yeah, at this point, the eyes should just be on Baron, but for some reason, Little Gil is still playing towards bot lane. I just don't feel like there's really anything to be gaining from here. I feel like the objective is Baron, because really the only way that they're going to be able to crack these inhibitor towers is through a Baron, unless Krug Killaz just gives them a weird fight to allow themselves to get aced, and then you can start cracking those towers. As much as this Kog'Maw's behind, he has Hurricane, and that's a lot of wave clear.
And on top of that, I want to bring up something that Admin was talking about early on in the series. Look at the vision. USU have wards all over the place, and it's pretty dark for Krug Killaz. And so the confidence USU has in making these plays is just unmatched.
I'll say, at this point with where USU is, I feel like they're a little suffocated in vision. They don't have any deep vision to show what the plans are for Krug Killaz. They don't have anything near their base, and so they're going to get collapsed on.
Our next fight. Forest goes in onto Shazbot. Shazbot does get the shield from his Eclipse, and the Lulu. Lil Gil flashes forward. Spectral goes in on him. Shazbot also, he's healing a little bit. Spectral gets killed as well. That's a 2-for-0 because of Frenzy's ultimate. Wow.
I mean, I don't know how... That's just a game of... This is just a game of money and wallets at this point. Little Gil, the fact that ulting first and then flashing forward into 3 people, into a Polymorph and potentially a Warwick Fear, I was terrified. I thought Zai would die there every single time, but the money that they have, they can just get away with murder. And now they're going to get a dragon as well. That's going to be their sole point, as well as this bot inhibitor. I just want them to start playing for Baron now. This is literally perfect. You don't have a dragon. There's no bot lane inhibitor now. Guys, the only objective on the map right now is Baron. Let's reset and go Baron and end this game. This game can be done within the next 2 minutes.
I see 1 kill per minute here. 23 and 23. And that is how we typically see the PLC. Spectral is hit with a lot. He got quite a lot of damage reduction from that W there. And he stays alive. USU takes some of the Krugs, which is ironic because the Krug Killaz didn't. You're welcome.
That was good. That was good. I appreciate that one. Yeah, I am actually very surprised that Spectral did not die there. That is insane. That damage reduction is bonkers. But also, that is going to kind of mess up their tempo a little bit. So, USUW is going to be pretty late out of base, Force and Frenzy. As you can tell, they're already set up for Baron. And if they didn't stop the reset...
Whoa! Forest just...
Alright.
Devastated Rabid there. That was terrifying. Shazbot might be in some trouble. Goes into the ultimate. Big burst with that Lich Bane coming out of Forest. Wow.
What? We're okay. So we have kill up. We have pushing bot. We have pushing mid, and we have pushing top, and we are not going Baron right now. We are not going. We're not. Guys, can we please go Baron? Can we please go Baron? I hate to I know I do this a lot, but like I hate to be like that guy of like, oh, like one thing. But like, how free is Baron right now? Zaya's 3 items. That champ will one-shot Baron. I mean, I guess like the wave clear of Krug kills is really inconsistent, so I guess they can get away with this mid inhibitor. But they can literally win the game if they have Baron buff right now.
Truce is trying to fight Chime here. Chime is going to be also eviscerated by Forest. Get no stun, but it is enough damage. And legendary Silas here. That I think this is doing the due diligence, right? They're going to take a second inhibitor, meaning that there's going to be 2 waves of supers. Shazbot is taken down by the unleashed power, and now Forest and Truce are trying to walk in a 3rd minion wave, while the Krug Killaz have to deal with mid and bot.
And honestly, the only reason they're able to get these advantages is because Krug Killaz are just giving them 1-by-1 kills. Lil Gil able to sneak another kill away from Rabid, which originally was the reason they started getting these inhibitors, was Rabid overextending towards bot side, getting picked off, and then overextending towards top side, getting one-shot by Silas, and now it's just
more
pop
fighting
after pop.
Underneath the turrets. They take 2 of them underneath. Now that's half health on one of the Nexus turrets. Forrest goes in and gets yet another hit. Crowd control down onto the Tahm Kench. He eats the Tahm Kench with the stolen ultimate. Stand united. Shazbot goes in, and that's going to be it. That's the ace, and USUW take down Krug Killaz in the last game of our Swiss stage.